Hey everyone, so we're going to be doing a project on a character from pre-Civil War America. This is a collaborative project with Mr. Gordon's class as well. So it's an art and social studies project and part of your layered learning. So we're going to get started with this collage project using the Pixlr program to design our collage. So Pixlr has changed since you used it last. We're going to type in pixlr.com and go to Pixlr. We're not going to use the Pixlr X version. We're just going to use the Pixlr version. And you do want to open the new editor beta. For this example today, I've sent you a picture of Abraham Lincoln. We're all going to do the Abraham Lincoln together. That way we just have a good understanding of what we're going to do. Open image, and I am going to there's Abraham Lincoln. So the first thing that I want to do is to really put on a very high contrast. I'm going to desaturate. If I were working with a colored picture, I want to desaturate it first so that I could see all of the different values. Now what I'm going to do is go to brightness and contrast and really crank up that contrast. If you see that your character's face is getting too dark or too light, you can adjust the brightness. But I can see here that Abraham Lincoln's ear is disappearing, and his ears are a really important part of his features. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to scroll in, and I can actually paint in part of his ear so that it doesn't disappear. So I'm going to click my paintbrush tool, select a color of a gray tone. There we go. And I'm going to shrink my brush down. You can soften it, or the new Pixlr app allows you to do a lot of different things in here with changing your brush. Okay. And now I can scroll in a little more and begin painting in the ear of Abe Lincoln. You want to be careful not to paint too much because you don't want it to look too flat and fakey. But you also don't want things to disappear. Okay, so it's that balance. And remember that you are the artist, your computer is just the tool. All right, so now I'm going to increase that contrast way up, and his ear is still there. A little more brightness, and keep cranking up that contrast. I really want to get it to about 3 different values. I also don't want his forehead line wrinkles to disappear because that is another important feature of Abraham Lincoln. So you really want to pay attention to those important things that make a person keep their characteristics. All right, so now I can go to, some of you will need to use this feature, others will not. It just depends on the picture that you have. Working with pre-Civil War images, a lot of the pictures that we're using are going to be paintings instead of photographs. And so there we go. I could turn it full black and white. And you have the option, you can turn yours full black and white, but I would like a little bit of grayscale in this. Although I'm noticing it's a little too much grayscale, so I'm going to go under brightness and contrast again and crank up the contrast even more. I don't want to get it to the point where it's necessarily a total threshold, meaning just black and white, but I do want a little bit of gray value in there. So I still have some gray value in the bow tie, some gray value right here on the face, and then I also have the white. This is going to make this collage a lot easier to do. Now let's say like part of the forehead is disappearing too much. You can also go to the lasso option. You can lasso part of the face, and you can be very precise around that. Go to adjustments, brightness and contrast. Maybe I'll decrease this, decrease the contrast, and apply. Then I'm going to go to deselect. Now when I put on the brightness and contrast, let's see if that works. Maybe keeping in a little of keeps in a little bit more of his the wrinkles in his face. I want to keep that. So now he's ready to print. For your image, you'll want to reduce it to about 3 to 4 different values. Ready to print and enlarge and begin the next process of the collage.